What's up, everybody, and welcome to Podcasting with Power. It's fall. We're here. Leaves are changing. So are we. I'm Zachary Davis. That's Jordan Carlson. How are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Are you going through some big changes right now? I don't know why I said that. I have no idea.
That was so funny, dude. Oh, man. So are we. We're always changing, always evolving.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, but yeah, man, I'm pretty good. Okay. I'm liking the fall. I feel like is hitting harder to me this last week than it has so far.
I don't feel like I'm quite there yet. I don't think I'm getting the vibe yet.
No?
I think we're on the cusp.
Okay. That's fair. I mean, I can see in just how you look and how I look. I've got the like maroon crew neck on, and then you've got your summer blue on right now, t-shirt.
I do. Yeah. I mowed the lawn in shorts the other day.
Oh, man.
I'm still out here. So what is that crew neck there? I saw a glimpse
of it.
Why don't you show the viewers there? There you go.
There we go.
That's you, that's Boo.
That's me and Boo. Yeah,
love it.
That's for the old Joe Carr channel there.
There you go.
Oh.
What have you been playing this week, man?
Dude, I switched up pretty hardcore. I'm still playing Majora's Mask like we said last week. I cannot believe how much I'm enjoying it this year as opposed to others Majora's Mask. I don't know what it is. But I've been really into that as like an early morning kind of thing.
Sure.
But Skate. I've been playing a lot of Skate.
You have been playing a lot of Skate. I've been seeing you share some stuff on Instagram and elsewhere. What's going on with this?
Dude.
Right? It's in early access, right?
Yeah.
Not fully out. What are you playing it on?
I'm playing on PC.
Okay.
Early access. It's free. It was easy and accessible. Last weekend, one of our mutual friends had told me I should check it out. So I was like, all right, I'll see what this is all about. And immediately I was pretty hooked. And the online community right now is hilarious.
Sure. I see it on my TikTok for you every now and then.
Yeah.
So I'm getting a grasp a little bit of what it's all about.
Well, our mutual friend told me, it was like, hey, man, let me know if you get on Skate this weekend. I'll join. And I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds like fun. So I get on, message him, ghosted me.
Oh no.
Ghosted me.
I'm shocked.
So I ended up hanging out with these like 8, I can't say dudes, I don't know, people,
Okay, yeah.
And
sure.
The thing right now, at least in the lobbies that I've been in, the thing has been, because you can do this, you can like spawn ramps, kind of like build a park.
Yeah.
And the theme right now is just using those ramps not as ramps, but as like almost like Fortnite, where you're just climbing stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're getting places where you're probably not supposed to be and trying to like acid drop onto the furthest away ramp that you possibly can.
Okay.
And because you can set your spawn point, So me and these like 8 people were just climbing this tower together, just trying to just bomb off this tower. It was honestly the most fun I've had online in quite some time. And it's like very little communication, just messaging,
Okay.
And it was a blast, dude. I was up all night last Saturday, I think, just jamming out with random people and skating around. It was cool.
I'm seeing a lot of people like make these like crazy, unrealistic, like far jumps, and trying to fit in little gaps and all these things.
Uh-huh.
And for some reason, all of the TikToks are set to Even Flow by Pearl Jam. Is that like in the game, or is that have we just decided that's what it is on TikTok?
Yeah, I don't know how people are doing that though, because I have tried to land these like far away jumps. I think there's probably something I don't know. I honestly haven't looked into game breaking things. I'm just doing my best, and
sure,
I haven't been able to land anything that far away. So when I see this stuff online, I'm like, well, how are they doing that?
Yeah, there was a beta a while back that was closed, and now, like you said, it's in the early access period. It is free. It is not on Switch, so not going to do you any good here. But PC, Xbox, PlayStation, all that. Yeah, it was one of those where like like when the beta was going on, I felt like nobody was talking about it.
Okay,
now that's not a great sign.
Yeah,
people were excited for this, and now some people have their hands on it. No one's talking. Now that it's out there and I'm seeing videos, it seems like people are pretty hot on it. I saw an IGN review, though, that gave it a 4 out of 10. Do you feel like this is a 4 out of 10 experience?
I mean,
because that's not the vibe I'm getting for people.
I mean, gameplay, like mechanic wise, like I know it's broken. Like you can just absolutely yeet yourself into the atmosphere by doing a couple things, but like, no, man, like the mechanics feel really good. It is, if you are actually playing the game, like it plays really good. I like it. I think that there's a little bit of a incentive to spend some money if you want to get additional accessories for your skater and stuff, but and maybe it feels a little bare so far. I haven't, but I can't say like for sure because I haven't played so much of the career. I've just been dicking around online, but like in that way so far it's felt a little bit empty, but mechanic wise, visually, like I like it. I think it's pretty good. I'm not saying it's game of the year, but it's not a 4 out of 10.
The last question for you. We obviously got a new old Tony Hawk game earlier this year.
Yeah.
How does this compare? Are you having more fun with this? Is it, it's obviously not a finished experience, but
I am having more fun with this. To me, the Tony Hawk experience, like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong because I have a horrible memory, but I feel like I didn't recommend that to people.
I don't know if you went that far, but I think you were a little lukewarm on it.
If it's nostalgic
to what you thought you were going to be,
go back and play it. Like, because that's how it was for me. It wasn't anything new. It was just an old game that had some new life breathed into it, and for that I appreciated it. But like, I'm not going in free skate and kicking around. I mean, but I had my fun in the arcade style gameplay. But in skate though, be it that it's open world and you can just be anywhere and everyone's there with you no matter what, if you're connected, like, and then just how complex and honestly up to date it is with skateboarding and how it is now, like, I would go with skate, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it definitely looks like a fresh experience from what I've seen, so that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I have not really been playing anything new. I finished Hollow Knight. Is that new since our last episode? I think I did that last week.
That's new.
Yeah, so I finished the original Hollow Knight. Gonna take a little break before Silksong. Gonna play some other stuff and maybe do that in a month or so. I did finish that Ghost of Tsushima DLC, the expansion that we talked about, before Yote comes out this coming week, so that's cool. Still gonna finish that Indiana Jones thing, but yeah, nothing brand new this week. So
that's fine. Taking your time.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in a good spot with that, right? Where I'm just kind of like, I don't feel the pressure to like play anything right now. It's just kind of like, okay,
yeah,
like just do whatever. And
I kind of feel like I'm gonna be that way until Pokemon comes out.
I feel like there's so much stuff in October I want to play.
Oh, shoot, you're right. No, there is. We are jam packed. I forgot.
Yeah, we got Mario, Yooka-Laylee. I want to play Ghost of Yote, Pokemon, Mina the Hollowers at the end of the month. Like, there's a lot there. So,
Little Nightmares 3.
We'll talk about all that.
Yeah,
but let's take out the housekeeping. That's not a phrase, but I'm gonna do that. Here we go. Podcast with Power is an independent podcast made by the two of us, and your support goes a long way. You can watch PWP on YouTube and Spotify, or listen on Apple, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts. Wherever you are, we'd really appreciate it if you'd follow, like, comment on, and review the show. You can also keep up with us on Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky at Pod with Power. We post show updates, clips, and anything else we think you might find interesting. So check that out and help the show. Jordan, I've got 4 Nintendo news stories, and then we're going to touch on some breaking news. But you put a little note in here above the news. And I don't know if this is news, but we might as well talk about it. So the Lego Game Boy that we talked about weeks ago now, we're right on the precipice. It's about to come out. You let me know yesterday that it looked like Costco was putting them out a little early. Mm-hmm. I know in the past couple of weeks, Sam's Club's done the same thing. I think Kohl's had them for sale within the past couple of days. Yeah. By the time I got there, it was sold out though, so I couldn't do that. So yeah, what's going on with this? Why is this thing leaking? It's like the first week of October it's supposed to come out, right? So we're pretty close.
Yeah, 10/1. And I mean, the more you know, the more you Kohl's, baby. You know what I mean? No, yeah, dude. I mean, when I was looking into it, so my buddy from work sent me a snippet of the news story, and I was like, no way, because I have one pre-ordered through Amazon, and I was like, no way, this is true. So I, did my Googling as you do, and I found that Costco in specific has a history of releasing things early. Like, I guess they're bad at the street date. So came to found that this is in fact a very real thing. And now, and that's when I sent it to you. I was like, oh my God. Because I was feeling like I need to go to Costco right that moment. I was like, no, it's all right. Like,
so at least on the online inventory checker, my Costco over here does not have it out.
Okay.
Don't know if that's all of them in the area. I don't know if it's up to date. Who knows?
I wonder if it shows even, like, because I'd imagine
that's how I found out. I found out Warrior 64 on all the things, shares, deals, and all that stuff, posted that it was showing up for him where he was, and that's how he knew it was in stock.
Gotcha.
My parents have a Sam's Club membership, and I've been meaning to like tell them this, since I've heard that Sam's Club did it, because they did it like weeks ago, and they just left them out. And my mom was like, I don't know if I've seen that. My dad's like, yeah, I saw it. I was like, nah, cool. Like,
come on.
So, and who knows? But allegedly, maybe the Sam's Club over here does have them out right now. I don't know.
How are you?
But Costco and Sam's Club, I believe, both selling them for like $50. Which is it $90 retail?
I thought it was $70.
It's somewhere between $70 and $90, I think.
Dude, no, wait. Hold on. I can tell you. I paid for it.
Yeah, I bought
one. I want to say I paid $70.
Okay.
That's not bad. Yeah, I mean, I'm
leave a little bit.
Here we go. Oh, of course, I was logged out.
What do we got?
I've got $60. I paid $60.
Oh, from Amazon?
From Amazon.
Okay, not bad. Okay, so you're only saving $10. Not nearly the deal I thought it was.
Yeah, no.
At Costco, but that's okay. I will go. I will make a trip this weekend. I'll see if they're out there.
If you see one, I'll Venmo you.
You're gonna get yours next week, but
I want to.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, let's get to the actual news. I just wanted to throw that in there for you. We got some crazy ass news stories. We got 4 stories, and then, like I said, a little bit of breaking news we'll touch on here. But let's start with the first one: government overreach. Story number 1. Pokemon responds to the Department of Homeland Security's video using the original anime's theme. This is by Kenneth Shepard at Kotaku. On Monday, the Department of Homeland Security posted a video of ICE making multiple arrests set to the original Pokemon anime's theme song, as well as using interstitial cuts of the show and displaying mock-ups of trading cards for several of the individuals arrested. After millions of people saw the video and called on Nintendo or the Pokemon Company to pursue legal action, the company has issued a statement to Kotaku. Quote, "We are aware of recent video posted by the Department of Homeland Security that includes imagery and language associated with our brand. Our company was not involved in the creation of or distribution of this content, and permission was not granted for the use of our intellectual property." The statement stops short of mentioning whether the company plans to take any further legal action. Before we get into it, I'm going to follow that up with a report from Tom Phillips at IGN, who talked to Dan McGowan, who is the ex-legal chief of the Pokemon Company, at least the U.S. branch here, and he had this to say, quote, "I don't see them doing anything about this for a few reasons. First, think of how little you see the Pokemon Company International's name in the press. They are insanely publicity shy, and prefer to let the brand be the brand. Second, many of their executives in the US are on green cards. Even if I was still at the company, I wouldn't touch this, and I'm the most trigger-happy CLO I've ever met. This will blow over in a couple of days, and they'll be happy to let it." The article goes on a little bit, just to kind of discuss, Jay-Z had a similar thing happen where they used one of his songs. He just posted a copyright claim with the distributors. They took the video down. The post, still exists. But yeah, as of right now, Pokemon hasn't done anything. Nintendo and Pokemon notoriously litigious. So it's interesting that, and this only just happened. So you got to give them maybe a little bit of time to gather their thoughts here. But what do you think of this? This is pretty wild.
Wow. Man, that's fucked up, dude. Oh my God. Yeah, no. Oh man. I don't care for that.
No, I think regardless of your politics, I think it's easy to look at this and go, you can't just steal. You can't use the Pokemon theme song. You can't print out Pokemon cards with the individuals' faces on them.
Dude, no. This is so...
That's not a Pokemon card type.
Like, man. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's fucked up, dude.
It'll be interesting to see. I mean, like this guy mentions, they might just... For this, it's scary to go up against the government, particularly, I think, right now. And I can see why an international company would not want to do that.
Yeah.
But, with Palworld, it did seem like for a little while they were going to let that slide. And it eventually they brought forth a good deal of legislation. Litigation.
Yeah.
And it took a little while. So we'll follow this. We'll see if anything happens.
I mean, yeah. I mean, given the, like, Palworld...
Well, obviously very different. Yeah.
Very different. Yeah. But I mean, like with this and given the climate of all this right now, especially, I feel like they're going to address it. I just wonder if they're thinking about how. I can imagine them wanting to be extremely strategic on how.
Yeah. I mean, you want to do this, you want to do it right. We've obviously seen some companies in recent weeks take some big hits that they don't want to take. Yeah. For maybe doing things a little sloppily. So hopefully they can hit them hard, but we'll follow it and we'll let you know. Yeah. Story number 2, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade Director highlights the speed problem with Switch 2 game cards. This is by PJ O'Reilly at Nintendo Life. Huh. As you're doubtless well aware at this point, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, that title is Jesus, is winging its way onto Switch 2 on January 22nd. In the build-up to the release on Switch 2, its director has been chatting with JP Games about those dreaded game key cards, and it seems he's of the opinion that they are a necessary evil thanks to the speed drawback from Nintendo Switch 2 carts. During the interview, Hamaguchi is quoted saying that among developers, the discussion about the keycard format is perhaps a bit different to what fans maybe expect, pointing out that whilst the actual storage sizes of carts are important, it's the speed of loading high-end AAA games and their huge assets that's the key issue. Quote, I think perhaps the biggest issue for developers, certainly for people like us who make high-end, high-definition games, is the loading speed, because you compare that to a solid state drive and the speed you can get from loading from that. It's going to be inferior to that. It just has to be. That's the way the media works physically. So that's the bigger issue really in terms of making high-end games for the Switch 2, and what it allows, obviously, by doing a semi-download version of the game, you can then use the SSD and rely on it for that smoother loading. He's careful to clarify that he understands gamers' reaction to the keycard solution. Quote, I really get where people are coming from in terms of their negativity towards it, and there are good reasons and debates to have there. We recently heard from a Star Wars Outlaw developer about how the game keycards for that stellar port helped with streaming assets, loading, and all of the benefits you'd expect from a faster storage and information streaming system versus having that data transferred from a separate cart. So this has been a debate, not something we've talked too much about. Game key cards, how does it bother? I guess we're not really buying physical games, right? We're mostly digital at this point.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I'm pretty much always digital, to be honest, and it's because of this whole thing.
Yeah, and I think with the nature of the portable and all, it just kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people that the idea of game key cards where it's basically just a license and the actual game is not on the cartridge, that's really bothering people.
Yeah.
So hearing this, though, it sounds like there are technical reasons why that makes more sense. Do you agree that maybe it's a necessary evil for this?
I mean, to be honest with you, I think so. I do think so. I mean, like, I think about, like, Link's Awakening as an example of it. I mean, a game, and I think I've talked about this before, but I returned that game because I wanted it digitally because it ran better. I don't know. I'd rather have something digital than I would. I don't know, man. It's confusing because it's like I don't really own anything if I have it digitally.
Right. I think the complaint that you're seeing from people is that, either Nintendo should have made bigger carts that they could have fit these games on. Remake on the PlayStation 5 is like 90 gigabytes, right? So that's obviously huge. I can see why you wouldn't want that taking up your system storage on the Switch. There's not a ton of it there. But at the same time, Switch 2 carts don't fit that much data.
Yeah.
So they're not going to go old fashioned and give you multiple cartridges.
Right.
Because there's the art part of this, and then there's the business part of it.
Right.
You know? And so that's always kind of the complaint, is that these companies want to cheap out. That's why they're putting everything, available for download. And it seems like maybe that's not the case here. Apparently that's what made Star Wars Outlaws work so well on the Switch.
Where do you fall on everything?
I do think game key cards they're not a perfect solution to this problem, this kind of shrinking market of physical games. But I do think they at least address the idea of, I can resell my game. So sure, Star Wars Outlaws is not on this cartridge. I do have to have it take space up on my system. But if I decide I want to trade that game into GameStop, or I want to sell it, I can do that. Where I can't do that with a traditional digital game. But yeah, it doesn't address the whole game preservation thing. If in 30 years these eShop servers are gone, you can't download this. Like, I know it doesn't. I get that argument too. But
dude, I mean, when
I don't know how they do anything about that.
When you really think about it, that sucks so bad too, because it's like, if I look back on my collection 30 years from now, I'm gonna be like, I have a whole, like, it's like maybe some physical stuff here and there, but it's like my collection goes back to Game Boy, like everything between then, digital, it's tough.
Yeah. So we'll see. I think the trend, at least with third-party games, this will just be the norm, especially for big AAA stuff. Yeah. So I don't think there's any getting away from that. Speaking of big AAA ports, story number 3. Borderlands 4 Switch 2 port delayed due to a need for, quote, additional development and polish time. This is by Sophie McAvoy at GameIndustry.biz. The Nintendo Switch 2 port of Borderlands 4 has been indefinitely delayed, Gearbox Software just announced. Due to launch on October 3rd, the game's developer said it needed additional development and polish time to deliver the best possible experience to our fans. Quote, we do not take this decision lightly. Our hope is to also better align this release with an addition of cross-saves, which we are working on and recognize is very important. Gearbox said it will update the release timing for Borderlands 4 once it has fully adjusted its plans. This is where it gets kind of shaky. Digital pre-orders of the game on Switch 2 will be canceled, and the process starting automatically on September 26th. Gearbox noted that customers could initiate the process themselves now on the Nintendo eShop. Those who have pre-ordered a physical copy of the game are recommended to contact the specific retailer it was purchased from. Since its September 12th launch, Borderlands 4 has been met with criticism regarding its performance on PC. Players have cited issues with performance, optimization, and crashes on Steam, leading to an overall mixed review rating. And then we got a bunch of different quotes from Randy Pitchford here, basically telling people it's their fault. But this is wild, right? The game was set to come out like next week, and now it's not. And it's indefinite. They've canceled pre-orders. What do you are a Borderlands fan. Were you looking forward, maybe not on Switch, but have you played any of this or looking to?
No, but I was looking to. I was also recommended this because, I mean, to be honest with you, like, I fell off Borderlands after 2, but I did really enjoy Borderlands 2.
Sure.
And I mean, I've dabbled here and there, but no, I was looking forward to this one because it kind of seems like it's the next big one.
Yeah.
And I mean, it looked great. Like, visually, it looks great. It sounds like the story is interesting. The gameplay sounds pretty different and fun. Like, I was looking forward to it. I actually, and I didn't do a lot of homework on it, to be honest. I just kind of relied on the people that I know that have played it who did not tell me any of this stuff about the performance. But I was thinking about doing it on the Switch, though, because, like, it would be fun to have that kind of game portably or just lay in bed and play it,
Yeah.
So I'm kind of bummed out to hear this, but canceling the pre-order, though.
Right. This isn't just, hey, we need a couple more months. Is this going to be years? Is this ever going to come out? Like, that's kind of where I'm at with it.
I mean, that's because you'd think, like, just hang on to the pre-order. Just,
yeah.
Like, big deal. Like, okay, because if it was my pre-order and they were like, yeah, you know what, we're looking at a mid-December release now, I'd be like, okay, All right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd probably hang on to it. But now knowing this and getting refunded, you might look elsewhere.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
I'd probably be like, well,
get it on PC, get it on Xbox, whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Like if I had another means to play it, I'd be like, all right, cool. Yeah. But if I didn't, that's what gets me is the people who don't, where they're like, guess I can't play Borderlands.
Yeah. I hope this isn't a trend with third party ports. We know the Elden Ring port apparently does not run very well.
Yeah.
And who knows? That could be a dev kit timing thing. Like we don't know how long they've been working on this version of the game compared to the other ones.
Yeah.
And I do think the fact that they're having problems on the other platforms probably, at least to me, points to the Switch 2 itself not being the issue.
Yeah.
It just sounds like it's not very well optimized.
I would imagine that you're probably right because
so hopefully we see this. From what I've heard, when it works, it's a great game.
Yeah,
it's sounds like the temperature's a little higher on it than a 3 was. So yeah, we'll see. Story number 4. This comes from Nintendo UK themselves, announcing the Nintendo pop-up store in London. From October 22nd to November 16th, 2025, Nintendo will open its first ever UK pop-up store, with Nintendo Pop-Up Store in London becoming the first of its kind shopping center-based Nintendo store in Europe. Nintendo's official stores are currently located in Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto, as well as permanent locations in New York and San Francisco in the United States. The upcoming limited-time London pop-up will be located within the ground floor of Westfield, London. Nintendo's pop-up store in London will showcase an extensive range of official Nintendo merchandise, from collectible key rings, pins, and charms to cozy apparel, stylish bags, and home essentials, including other exclusive items sold at the permanent stores in Japan. The product offerings will span some of Nintendo's most iconic franchises, including Super Mario, Donkey Kong, The Legend of Zelda, Animal Crossing, Pikmin, Splatoon, and Kirby. For those who want to be among the first to visit this pop-up store in London, ticket reservations for the opening week will go live from October 7th. After that, they'll do kind of their standard, line system and all that. And if you're interested in this, if you have the means to go to this, by all means, look up how to do that. But this is interesting. We talked a couple weeks ago about wanting maybe some other Nintendo store locations. You mentioned wanting a Detroit location, which I don't think could happen, but maybe this could happen, right? Maybe they pop up here in Detroit for a couple weeks. This is interesting. What do you think about this idea?
I mean, I think it's a good idea. Definitely an area that I feel like would get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, I'm happy to see it. Don't know next time I'll be in London, but
sure,
happy it's there.
But this could realistically, if this idea works, you could see them doing something like this in a Chicago, in Atlanta, something like that, right?
Yeah.
So there could be means to do this stateside. We do not have a story number 5 for you because this was breaking literally right as we came online, and there weren't any solid stories written about it yet. So I think we'll address this maybe more so next week. Maybe not. Who knows? There might be nothing more than this. But as of right now, Doug Bowser is retiring as president of Nintendo of America at the end of this year, and Devin Pritchard will take over. She currently is the executive vice president of revenue, marketing, and consumer experience at Nintendo of America. I noted here, so she has been with the company since 2006 in some different roles, which is different than both Reggie and Doug Bowser were. They both came in from other companies and took over. She has been here for a long time. So what do you think? What do you think about Bowser leaving and some, homegrown Nintendo blood coming in?
I am surprised. I'm very shocked. Legitimately have no idea how to feel about it, but that second piece about having Devin Pritchard moving her way up, like I do love that she's been with Nintendo for so long. So
yeah, I think that's cool.
That makes me feel really good because that's somebody who's been around for everything and has seen firsthand everything. Yeah. And I mean, if you're going to be with a company for that long, probably is very passionate about it. So I think, I'm happy about it, to be honest with you. Like, I'm not happy, with Doug Bowser, I'm not saying like, yeah, get Doug out of here. Let's, but I'm just saying, that's the situation. There's obviously nothing to do about it. So I'm just happy that the person that is filling into that spot is clearly somebody who's very familiar with Nintendo and has been there for a long time through all of the different phases and changes and things like that. So stoked about it.
Yeah, I think in the case of Doug, you can give him some credit. He he got us through the finish line here with the Switch 2. It's out there. It's doing well. It's a success. So you get it. He's kind of one last victory, and now he can sail off into retirement. That's not a bad way to go. I think, wasn't Reggie's timing kind of similar? Wasn't it shortly after the Switch, maybe a couple years into the Switch?
Maybe. Reggie also came out of nowhere, didn't he? Like, didn't he kind of also depart really quickly?
It did feel pretty sudden when he left too. Yeah. You're right.
Was he? It was just. Did he go right to GameStop?
No. He took some time off and then joined the board there. Yeah, you're right.
Wild.
Yeah, so maybe we'll have more information as this comes out for you next week, but as of right now, there's hardly anything out there, so we don't know. Out this week, some decent games. On September 30th, we've got Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles, both Switch 1 and 2 versions. Also on the 30th, Nicktoons and the Dice of Destiny. This is like a kind of Diablo dungeon crawler, with some Dungeons and Dragons vibes with your favorite Nicktoons. Also on September 30th, Lego Party. We just had that Lego game come out, right? That co-op one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Lego right now. And then rounding out the September 30th date, we've got Mouthhole, which, Jordan, you seem interested in this one. Can you tell me what you think about? Because I know you're watching a trailer of Mouthhole right now.
What is this?
So Mouthhole, from what I gather, I've not played this. It's been on Steam, I think, for a little while. It is a 3D puzzle game where you are inside like a gross mouth.
This
there are gums,
looks like
decay, and sorts of stuff.
This looks like first gen Doom.
It does. It has an interesting art style that kind of harkens back to that. So that's coming to Switch. I don't know much more beyond that. I just thought it was worth shouting out Mouthhole.
Body horror concept centered around a decaying mouth as a grotesque gateway to other worlds. Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, you love to see it. Okay. And then the last big game this week, of course, on October 2nd, you've got Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2 for the Switch 1, but will be Switch 2 aware with 4K graphics and all that stuff. Keep in mind, you can also buy them separately on the eShop. That's coming out on Friday for you. Anything catch your eye this week besides Mouthhole, which I know you'll be playing?
I mean, I'll take Galaxy for a spin.
So I'm in a weird spot with Galaxy. It comes out a week before Yuka Replay, which I want to play. And that was the original game was one I really wanted to like, and it just wasn't quite there. Yeah. So I'm excited for this. It looks like they've kind of made that work, and I'm excited for it. But I do feel like I probably should play that one before I play Galaxy 1 and 2. Because I feel like Galaxy 1 and 2 are probably going to show it up, especially with the Switch 2 features. So I probably need to wait, until I go through that.
I think that's a good idea. I feel like you're someone who likes to prioritize and keep things in order a little bit.
Plus, I'll be real with you. I want to play Ghost of Yote on the 2nd, so I'm not going to pay a bunch of attention to Mario Galaxy either way.
Yeah.
So, I might wait a little bit on those. But let's get into our topic of the show, which is it's all over the place. It's not all over the place. It's very focused, but there is a lot here. When you pitched this topic, I was like, wow, he's got like seven weeks worth of a show here.
Yeah.
And it turns out, no, they actually are all interconnected. So tell the people out here what you're thinking about, what you want to talk about this week.
Well, look, like we were saying kind of when we started the show, to me, we're entering a different time right now.
We are.
We're changing.
Yeah. We're changing. Things are changing. We're changing.
As I look outside, I can't even see grass right now. I'm going to be honest with you. All right. There's just leaves.
Okay. Covered in snow. We're in Michigan.
So I'm I find myself, especially on the weekend, it comes time to dwindle down. You got a little downtime. Yeah. It's darker for a little longer. I find myself enjoying games in a different way. And we had kind of touched on this idea back in the summertime with summer games. So
yeah, absolutely.
I kind of wanted to open up a conversation about fall games and what is a fall game to you?
Okay. So just from the little bit we have discussed, I feel like we're going to have radically different answers for this, which is too different than how the summer conversation went. So when I think about fall games, I think of a couple distinct things. Of course, I think a long time ago, and we'll maybe get into this later, it was the big blockbuster time. The biggest, highest rated games of the year, the best selling games of the year came out in that kind of late October, November spot, right? So I do associate it with those big blockbuster games, the Call of Duties, the Halos, things like that. But if you told me, what kind of game do I want to come out in the fall? What do I want to play in the fall? It's going to be something that I can sink a lot of hours into, really, is kind of the core tenet of it.
Okay.
And those are usually going to be your open world action adventure games. They're going to be with some RPG, mixed in there. And I know we're going to have a lot of overlap there. But when you and it goes deeper than this, but when someone tells you they like a Ubisoft game, right? A big open map with a lot of things to do.
Yeah.
I think that is a great starting point for what I want a fall game to be, right?
Okay.
In that kind of Assassin's Creed, Star Wars Outlaws, Far Cry model, give me something with a lot to do.
Okay.
Do you kind of see things similarly, or am I way off here?
So honestly, this is I feel like I hate being this way, but it's just how I am, so I have to embrace it. But I feel like my opinion's always kind of changing a little bit, and I would say we overlap a little bit, but how we got there is not the same way.
Okay.
To me, fall games tend to be like that cozy style game. And
okay.
I've learned online, because I'm a part of a couple of different Facebook groups, as we all are. Okay, and sure. One of them is Cozy Gaming, which I very much enjoy. People will kind of post the games that they're playing. And of course, cozy games can go all year long. It doesn't need to be in the fall.
Yeah.
But I just find myself gravitating towards cozy games more in the fall.
Makes sense.
So, I'm always seeing different things. Some people, I think that I've learned, some people prefer those just you can pick it up anytime type things. Maybe like a Puyo Puyo Tetris kind of thing. Just pick it up, play for a little bit, put it down.
Okay. Yeah.
Some people prefer games like Stardew Valley, things like that. Got that atmosphere to it.
Yeah.
And to me, I think I fall somewhere in the middle, but the theme of the game very much is important to me when it comes to fall. And
okay,
I think there might be some subconscious nostalgia in there a little bit too. There's that comfort, that feeling you get. But I would have to say that the theme of a game and the tones, the overlying tones, kind of matter a lot to me. So it's not so much as how long is the game going to take me, or pardon me, is it an adventure, action adventure? Is there a lot to do here? It's more of the theme.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting, because I feel like it's, as things are kind of winding down, I'm spending more time inside, I'm looking to these games to kind of be that epic, summer movie season's done, right? So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the big 3D Zeldas, right?
Yeah.
I like my 2D Zeldas, but that's maybe, better set for a different time of year. This is a time where I liked, and I find myself often replaying the Wind Wakers and Twilight Princesses and Skyward Swords, and I would like to do the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom now, add that to the collection. I think of, and this has a lot to do with when they came out, but the GTA 5s and Red Dead Redemption, 1 and 2, Spider-Man, I want something where I can just really put it all in there. I talked about Ghost of Yote coming out next week. That to me is a perfect fall game.
Okay.
It's just something I can sink 50, 60 hours into, and there's a ton to do.
Okay. Well, I put a list together. So I know I told you, got with you, I'm going to put a couple games together and kind of draft up what we think our perfect collection of 5 different fall games would be for us.
So, okay. So you did talk about the cozy element of it.
Mm-hmm.
To me, cozy games and fall games, not a lot of overlap, because the cozy games I have to draft here, literally none of the games I just talked about.
Yeah.
Completely different vibe.
Yeah.
So you want me to give you fall games, or you want me to give you cozy games?
I want you to give me what you think fall games are to you.
Oh, well, shit. Okay.
Or cozy game. Whatever's fall to you, Zach. I don't know if it's cozy or not.
I think I feel like we should go the cozy route.
Let's go the cozy route, then.
If that's the vibe, I mean, who can out cozy
to me,
one another?
I think the vibe is, To me, the vibe is cozy. I just don't want to. Sure. I don't want to force everybody else into that thing. But I think let's go cozy, then we'll do top 5 cozy. Does that sound good?
Yeah. And our cozies don't have to line up.
No.
I'm just saying, like, because I don't look at what I have written here, GTA 5. I don't think of that as a cozy game, right? But you think of it as a fall game. Like, I want to play the fall.
Why is GTA 5 cozy, dude? Like,
it's just, there are elements to it, right? And I think we'll maybe talk about that a little bit. But no, I do, and I get what you're saying. Like, the way I define a cozy game is it's something that is approachable but has some depth to it. Usually has a more laid back tone, art style, music, something you can just, like you said, just pick up and play for a bit. Or oftentimes for me, they're shorter experiences in general, just a couple hours long. So yeah, that's the route I'm gonna go. Okay. And I stuck only to games that I have played and enjoyed here. I'm not gonna pick because there are plenty of what I'd call cozy games that I have not touched, that I will not touch in this draft. But you guys listening and watching, let us know. We'll put the entries here on screen for you, and let us know, like, who's got the cozy lineup. Yeah. Of 2025.
Oh man, no one's gonna agree with me either.
How do we want to go? Decide who goes first?
Ooh.
You want to flip a coin?
Who went first? We can flip a coin.
Here, flip one of those controllers over.
I feel like I have one. I don't have one. Are you going?
All right, I'm gonna ask Google to flip a coin.
Okay.
Would you like to call it?
I'll hear your click. You want me to call it when you click it?
Sure.
All right.
I did it.
Tails.
I haven't looked at it. What do you call?
Tails.
It's tails. All right. You have the first pick.
So I get to go first, or I pick who goes first?
I guess if you want to choose who's kicking or receiving, I figured you would go first. Up to you.
All right, I'll go first. Should we start at number 5 and work our way to number 1?
No. You want to outpick me, right? So, like, because I'm not going to pick games you're picking, and vice versa, right?
Oh, okay. All right.
How are we doing this? I don't know. Define it.
I mean, this is part of the fun for me, man. I'm gonna. Okay. All right. I'm gonna give you my number 1. I'm gonna choose it.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess for the GameCube.
Okay.
You want to know why?
I do want to know why. I feel like,
I'm
not gonna tell you what can be on the list and what can't, but I challenge this a little bit. Tell me why this is a cozy game.
Okay, a lot of reasons. First of all, so I also want to point this out that I did not intentionally choose games that released in the fall, but most of my games actually released in the fall.
Sure.
I chose this one because, number 1, every single fall, because to me, like I said earlier, so I want to restate again, to me, fall and cozy go hand in hand. That's a fall game for me. So all of these feel cozy because of that. This is kind of that season where I replay it the most. I know, over the summer, I'd kind of talked a little bit about playing it. I've kind of set it aside since then. I was at City in the Sky and just never came back. This is the time of year that I really like to pick it up. And I kind of find myself doing that with, actually, I don't want to say that, but I think that this is probably my most revisited game in the fall. And it's the music, that tone. Like, I feel like Twilight Princess is one of the Zeldas where you feel like a tension in the middle of the game. And I may have touched on this, so I won't go too hard, but like, when like you're going through this whole thing that this girl had lost her memory. She doesn't remember who you are. And like, there's, everyone's very scared and you're there in the middle of the night. Like, there's just like this like high tension in the middle of the game. And for some reason, like that whole scenario, for some reason, it just feels like a warm thing to me. Like, I just think it's a very cozy kind of situation. I love it.
Yeah, there's kind of like a somberness to the plot.
Yeah.
And the tone of the game, the music, the color palette, I think really does lend itself to autumn. A lot of browns and oranges and things like that. I get it. Yeah. And I mean, with Twilight Princess, that was probably the most excited for a game I ever been pre-release, right?
Okay.
And so when I think of that game, I actually think of it before it came out much more than I think of the actual experience playing it. And just how like stoked I was reading Nintendo Powers, the trailers, all that stuff. And like yeah, like that. Go ahead.
I think I remember our experience before that game came out. I just had it just came to me. We had a mutual friend back in middle school who was like spreading rumors or like you can throw your sword. I was like, what?
I thought this was going to come up, and yeah, yeah, Gary did say that, but allegedly, and you can't throw your sword in that game. Turns out he was kind of right. 10 years later, we'd be doing that in Breath of the Wild. Who knew? But we had no idea back then. Yeah, so I think of that game, pre-release and kind of looking forward to it, and then it finally coming out in the fall with the Wii. That's a pretty big deal. But yeah, okay, I get it. I'll allow it. I wasn't going to stop it, but I'll allow it. Solid first pick.
Thank you.
All right, with my first pick here, I'm gonna take a heavy hitter just because I feel like you've been thinking about it, and that's Minecraft.
Oh.
To me, one of the ultimate cozy games, right? Now, of course, you can play Minecraft however you want. There are, of course, there's a story now to it. There's multiplayer elements. There's all sorts of things. But the way I like to play Minecraft is just start a world in survival mode and just go. And I just do whatever. And I explore stuff. I build stuff. I get some animals. I make a little farm. I do all that. So that to me, very cozy game, Minecraft.
That's a good one.
It is. The music, that's another one. It's got that kind of timeless art style, which is, it's interesting how well that works.
Yeah.
The like voxel kind of, Mm-hmm. But yeah, to me, Minecraft is maybe the ultimate cozy game that I feel like is very, very approachable.
Man, that's a big one. That's a heavy hitter for sure.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to make sure you weren't going to take it. That's why I started with Minecraft.
God damn. All right.
What do you got?
Luigi's Mansion GameCube.
Okay. Yeah, I did not talk about this in the fall, opening. I can't type here. But yeah, kind of that spooky game, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're going to talk a lot about spooky games in the coming weeks, but like that has its place in the fall. And yeah, so Luigi's Mansion for you.
Yes.
Yeah. What is it about this one?
It is the spooky element. I'm going to be honest. It's a spooky element. And also, just personally, my favorite of the series. So not only is it very reminiscent of the childhood, so it gives me that. So I have memories. It's very rich in memories for me. But really the spooky element and just remembering having something so totally brand new and different than I've ever experienced in a Mario game is really big for me. But it was weird having a scary Mario game, to be honest with you. It was totally new. So because of that, I feel like every October I just got to give it a play. So has to make my list. It is another cozy game, given the spooky season feeling that it gives you. So to me, there's no more appropriate time than October to play Luigi's Mansion.
Sure. I do think when you're talking full games, I think there's something to the lonely game where you are a character in a world that outside of enemies, there's not a whole lot of characters you're interacting with, things like that. I think the Metroid games kind of suit that. I think the Resident Evil games, for the most part, suit that. Would not call either of those cozy, but I think Luigi's Mansion does create that bridge. That's a good one. All right. I have a couple ways I could go with this. You're not going to take any of these though, so that's fine. So I'm gonna go with Coffee Talk. All right. Are you aware of Coffee Talk?
I am not.
Okay. So it is probably best described as kind of your visual novel conversational type game where you are, making choices with the way you converse with different characters and interact with different characters. You are running a coffee shop that's open all hours of the night. You're making the drinks for the different people, and that's fun in and of itself, kind of learning how to do that. But and sometimes they'll want something specific. Sometimes they'll want like just a vibe, and you have to kind of figure that out. But it's like a mixture of like human and then like fantasy creatures. So they all come in with all their drama in their lives, and someone might come in and they're having problems. Their daughter has run away from home, right? And then later you encounter the daughter, and you're kind of like, hey, like your dad was here, and blah blah blah, like and you're like trying to mend these relationships and do these things, and they're just there are two of them with another one, I believe coming out next year. It might have been slated for this year, I don't know, but yeah, they're very cozy. They have a great vibe. I would recommend them.
Okay. They look really different. So, I mean, it is interesting looking.
Yeah.
That's a good choice. Very lo-fi. Very lo-fi.
Yes, very, very much so. Yeah. That's if lo-fi was a game, it would be
good music in there?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh. It's a chill vibe. I think you would dig it. I do.
Okay. Yeah, I might actually check that out.
Yeah. They were on Game Pass at one point. I don't know if they both are still, but yeah.
All right. Well, I'll have to. Maybe they're still there.
Sure. Maybe.
Oh, my next choice. Now I'm choosing because, like, I'm going out of order between my favorites, but now I'm trying to take the best fall picks out of my favorites. You know what I'm saying? So,
sure.
I gotta go with. I'm gonna go with Tunic.
Ooh, okay. So I do get this one. I mean, it has the palette of Tunic, I think, is very fall and very cozy, right? Like it's autumn colors, basically, the game. And we talked a little bit about this one. It's an old school Zelda-like with some very difficult combat in it. What about this one do you find cozy?
I think it's the music obviously does a great job at making it cozy. Very interesting music in this one, but also just you feel kind of like lost in it. And I don't know how to explain this, but because of how clueless you are about what's really going on, you're so focused into the world that you're in and paying very close attention to those small details. So it has a really good way of kind of pulling you in. And it's the first game in a really long time when I really dove into it that I felt completely immersed in. And it was cool because it's like once it sucks you in, like I was saying about the music, like you really do feel like very comforted by it. Like I would often find that this game was a really good one for me before I'd go to sleep because it would kind of calm me down and like I kind of forget about maybe some of the stressors I had that day and just really get sucked in. So for that reason, that feeling that you get, I think it's the perfect cozy fall game because, fall's a cozy season.
Yeah, I think that's maybe a running theme between both of our games so far is that like it makes you think in a different but like very like precise way, right? You have to focus on what you're doing and how to do that thing. And I think that is kind of the hallmark of one of these games. So I'm going to go in a similar direction with a little guy with a sword and a hat. And does Tunic have a hat? I don't think he does. Link has a hat, but I don't think Tunic has a hat.
What? He's a little fox dude. Does he have a hat?
He is, and I feel like he's just
no hat.
Yeah, no hat. No. Okay. Well, my guy does have a hat, and that I'm gonna go with Lil Gator Game. All right. So
you trickster.
I enjoy Little Gator Game. I played this earlier this year. I went between this and A Short Hike for this list, and I won't include both, but they're kind of similar vibes where you are on an island, and this one I think has a little more direction to it than A Short Hike does, which is part of why I like it. It's also very funny. And you are a kid whose older sibling has kind of grown up and doesn't want to play anymore, and you're trying to like, you're a little alligator kid, and you're trying to bring everybody on the island together. You're trying to solve their problems and come together to play this fictional game with them. And it's very fun to explore at your own pace. And there's a lot of little collectibles and secrets and things like that. And it's just, it's same kind of thing. It's fun to just explore and kind of get lost in it and enjoy.
Yeah, this looks like fun.
Yeah, it's getting a big expansion, I think, next year, which should be cool.
There's a Little Gator Game in the dark.
Yeah, that's the pitch.
Like that. Okay. All
right. Number 4 for you.
I'm struggling because there's one I want to say, but there's one I want to get to before you might get to it. So I'm fighting for it right now. I don't know which one.
I do have a handful on here I think you could potentially take, so I'm a little cautious of that.
Man, I want this one on my list. Yeah, I think. Oh, all right. I'm just gonna go for this one. I'm gonna go Donkey Kong Country Super Nintendo.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This game has obviously come up a lot on our show.
It has.
So, I think we've touched on a lot of the things here, but yeah, tell me why it is perfect for this time of year.
So, got the retro feel. Sure. Very easy to pick up and put down. You're not super committed. It's fairly easy to kind of, play for a half hour, put it down, even with the save system that it's got in there. Yeah. The color tones, the music, and it's simple. There's not a lot going on with it. It's just a platformer, point A, point B. I mean, it absolutely gets, it's got its difficulty, but very comfortable game, very beautiful looking game for the art style. So because of its touch and go and the art style with that music, I gotta say it's a fall game. I gotta say it's cozy.
Okay, I love it. I mean, no argument for me. It's great. For me, I do feel like it might be a touch on the difficult side. Oh, which I guess Tunic probably is that too, right? Yeah. It's like when I'm playing something cozy, I don't want to be frustrated,
Dude, fucking Tunic though, you get swiped, lose all your ruples, man. Those things just out there.
What game was I going to go with next? Okay, so here I realize I have not. This is a Nintendo podcast, and yet I have picked no Nintendo games proper. So I'm going to take one here, and that's going to be Pokemon Snap. And I went with the N64 one here. I had written down new Pokemon Snap as well. But, I mean, come on, right? Like, for a lot of the same reasons you're talking about Donkey Kong Country, there's a familiar, I grew up playing and replaying Pokemon Snap. I know those levels like the back of my hand. I know when the Pokemon are going to pop out at what time. I know all that. And it's just a vibe. And it's just seeing, like, what combination of things I can do and photos I can take. And again, it's got the music, it's got the fun voice acting. It's a solid cozy game if you just want to veg out and play some Nintendo classics.
All right.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Oh, it's such a good choice, man. That's on my list. Love Pokemon Snap and just all the possibilities in that game, what you can make happen, and how replayable how simple but replayable it is because maybe something you didn't notice, maybe you were looking somewhere completely different. Like I love that. I love that game, man.
Did you try new Pokemon Snap when that came out a couple of years ago?
I did try it. Yeah.
Yeah, I did too, and it just didn't. I had fun with it, but it didn't stick with me the same way. Like, no. I didn't really want to go back and do any of that. And it had a lot of variety to it. It had lots of cool stuff, but it just, I don't know. There's something about that original game that just is infinitely replayable.
I think the original game, to be honest, and I hate to be this guy because I don't like hiding inside of nostalgia. I know that's like a lot of my personality, and I do really love that about myself. But there's a point though where you're trying to be critical of something and you want to be honest about something. But I do think that Pokemon Snap, that was the first, I think it was the first time in our lives we saw Pokemon out there.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, Pokemon Stadium would have been around the same time, but I don't know which came first.
But the thing about
I definitely spent more time with Snap.
Even with Stadium, though, like, you weren't seeing them, like, out in the atmosphere. Like, you weren't seeing them,
right, yeah.
Like, in the habitat. That was like a huge change from what we're used to. It's like outside the show that we had seen that. So it's like, and you were in control. So I feel like there was a magic to it that you just can't beat now.
Definitely.
Okay, cool. Next on my list, I get to keep it. I'm going to go with specifically Link's Awakening, but for the Switch.
Ooh.
Yes.
This is interesting. I can't wait to hear. I almost picked something similar.
Okay.
But so go ahead.
Now this one different from Tunic. is, I mean, God, it's going to sound just like Tunic, but like it's the art style is much different from Tunic. And it's specifically that art style, that little toy looking, very plastic looking art style. And oh man, I'm realizing right now it's very similar to why I chose Tunic.
I mean, yeah, they're similar in the way they're presented.
But you know what, though? Honestly, I think I did think about this quite a bit. I think that probably the reason I affiliate the Switch version outside, I mean, in tandem with it being the art style, honestly, too, like this game came out. I have this listed. I remember waiting for a really long time when this game came out.
Is it September?
It was
19th. No, it came out 2019. I don't know what day in September.
I can't believe I have it up here somewhere. I just want to get the date right. I know it's in the fall. 9/20/2019.
Ah, I was a day off.
Yeah. So I remember, so I would go to work and just watch like videos every day on whatever people had for it. Like it was very much it was hype for me. It was very hype, and it was during the fall. So I had this huge buildup going, and then finally when it came out, I was so excited. And I mean, Link's Awakening is one of my favorite entries for The Legend of Zelda. So when that was coming up, I was very excited. And I still hope that we see more in that art style. I'm really hoping for that Ages and Seasons. But no, that remake specifically, though, just love the art style. I love that it was a familiar game. So in that way, similar to Tunic, but, you know, different game. It's a game I've always loved. So seeing it reimagined in that art style during the fall, and even the music being just given extra love, like, it was really big. I loved it, and talking about it's making me want to play it again right now. So
I know, especially knowing now that it has those Switch 2 enhancements to keep the frame rate steady. Like, I do want to replay that. I just replayed the Game Boy one last year, so I don't know how soon I'll do that. But one of the ones I considered putting on my list was Echoes of Wisdom, which similar vibe, obviously, in art style. There's just something about that look that is disarming. It makes the game seem more approachable than it can be at times. I like that pick a lot. So my last one here, I mean, there's so many directions you could take this. You left a couple of Nintendo heavy hitters on the board, I feel like, but you did. But I'm gonna go outside of that a little bit, and I'm gonna go with a game called Unpacking. I love a puzzle game that does things a little differently, right? That just takes I just played, It's a Seat Taken, which I think is a great cozy game, and it was just a seating chart game, right? And I loved that. And Unpacking is that with you're putting your stuff into a space, whether it's a new apartment or house or whatever it is, and making it all fit. And there's just something very relaxing about it. It can get tough as you progress through it, but I think it's an excellent cozy game.
I agree with you. I mean, the art style, huh?
Yeah. Have you played that one?
I have not. I remember when it was announced very, very, very well, because I was like, "Oh, moving simulator!" Like, all right, there we go.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I mean, it is a cool. You love to see puzzle games like this, and it is creative. So I mean, I can understand it. One of those quick pick up, play for a little bit, kind of put away. It's got that very, how do I want to say, maybe you'll know what I mean, but early 2000s Barbie art kind of stuff.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in that way, it feels kind of like a little bit of a throwback, and I enjoy that. I like that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of the game consoles in there are definitely modeled on the GameCube and stuff. Like, you can tell the developers are probably of similar age to us, having grown up with that stuff. So it's very fun. Before we maybe talk about some of the things that we didn't name here, let's run through our list so that people, I want to hear from listeners and viewers in the comments, talk about our list, talk about your favorite cozy game. So Jordan, why don't you run through your list? I guess I have it written here, top to bottom, if you don't. Oh, you have it too.
All right, so I've got Twilight Princess, I've got Luigi's Mansion, I've got Tunic, Donkey Kong Country, and Link's Awakening for the Nintendo Switch.
Okay, and I have Minecraft, Coffee Talk, Lil Gator Game, Pokemon Snap for the N64, and Unpacking. So, yeah, let us know. So, obviously, I know I have several written down here that I did not need to draft. What about you? What didn't quite make the cut that you want to talk about?
It's hard to say, like, didn't make the cut, but, like, I have games that it's hard to say. It's hard to choose, man. Like, this is like the Mario thing all over again. When we were talking the 40th anniversary, I look at these games like Super Mario Maker for the Wii U. That was on my list.
Okay, I like
that. That very much was a cozy game because we've talked about this before, but very new age Mario Paint. You know, you go in there, good music, and you get to put your creative hat on. And for some reason, I think it's probably the launch because that one came out in the fall as well. November 21st in 2014. That one, I was traveling, and when that came out, and I was in Florida, and I remember like needing to make my way to a store to play the demo. Yeah. And that was highly anticipated in the fall. So that was one of them for me. And I mean, I feel like I mentioned a lot of the same games, but a different one for me that I wanted to throw in, but I couldn't find the heart to do it was Robotech Battlecry for the GameCube.
So I'm not very familiar with this game. I've seen it. I can visualize the box art. Tell me why this is a game for you.
It's not unique or anything in like any way, dude. Like, it's just that was like coming up. That was like one of the sleepover games for the OG crew.
Not the sleepovers I was at.
No, you weren't at that one, but a couple of our same buddies. That was like one of the games we'd boot up, play multiplayer, and I feel like we did that in the fall for a lot. I don't know why. But like, I feel like in the fall, maybe it was. Oh, actually, you know what? Some people had birthdays in the fall, and I think that was what it was.
Sure.
So yeah, that was just a heavy hitter for the old friend group there.
Okay, very interesting pick. I would have never expected to hear about that game on this podcast or on any podcast, quite frankly. So shout out to Robotech, whatever the hell you called it. Do you have anything else?
I was going to mention Splatoon also.
Okay. We did that first Splatoon. I feel like we played a lot of it that first fall.
We did. And that's another one. I feel like that was like heat online play. We were playing online at night a lot. We caught that swing because what was that a July release? I don't remember.
I seem to think summer or late summer. Like, I know Splatoon 2 I think was July. I don't know about the first one.
I gotta know because we did play. Oh my god, May 28th. We had all summer.
Right.
Anyway,
but we did play that for a long time.
We did play that for a long time, but everything else that I was going to mention, honestly, a lot of 3D Zeldas and then a couple other relaxing games. But that was about it. What about you?
Well, so I have a question for you, and when I think about cozy games and even fall stuff. Another kind of one of those ultimate cozy games, which is not necessarily my favorite, Animal Crossing, specifically New Horizons. Yeah. You play a lot of this game still, right?
I played a lot of that game.
Okay. I feel like I see you check it in.
No.
More frequently than...
Dude, I don't even know that my Switch remembers how much time I spent in that game. Like...
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. My Switch forgot how much time I've spent in a couple of my games. So...
Okay. Well, so that was going to be my question, though, is maybe the reason it didn't make your list because you... played so much of it kind of year round, and you just not put it in that category?
No, it absolutely would be in that category. I think like if I wanted to make, because like to me when I was making this list, I'm like I want to stay true to myself and what I feel like a cozy game is. Because I want to, I feel like I could try to appease all the masses. I think you very much did the same thing, by the way. I think you chose the games that you're very much into.
Oh, very much, yeah.
And we know each other's taste, I would say. So, everything you chose, I was like, absolutely, that's a game Zach's played. I can feel it. But like you and I, we know we could probably go, hey, I can make a list that everyone's going to love and everyone's going to agree with. Hands down.
Stardew Valley we didn't talk about. We didn't talk about Harvest Moon.
Yeah.
There are those that I feel like are
I love Harvest Moon, but I'm not going to lie and be like, I boot up Harvest Moon every fall.
Exactly.
Sorry, Jamie, but like, I just I wanted to choose the things that felt, true to what I really like.
Yeah, I feel like looking at my list, they're all things that very much focus on like a singular thing, right? Like unpacking and coffee talk. And I like that. Like I have dredge on here, which is you are a seaboat fisherman and you're, getting different rods and nets and things and finding, and there's a story to it that you kind of unpack as you go. That's interesting. Venbo is a great one about a family. And it's, got a heartwarming story. It's sad, but there's a lot of cool cooking, a lot of like Indian, like traditional recipes and music to it. And that's very fun. So like that was kind of the vibe I was going on. I mentioned Is the Seat Taken. I put Captain Toad Treasure Tracker here, which I brought up last week as being a good spinoff. And I do feel like that is a good cozy game to play with someone else.
Yeah.
Stakes are kind of low. Both players are important to progressing. I think it's a good co-op cozy game.
Yeah.
And then one that I thought about drafting that I didn't go with was Celeste, which is an awesome 2D platformer that can be challenging as all hell, especially by the end. But kind of the whole vibe of it is to just keep going.
Yeah.
That eventually you will succeed. You just have to keep trying this. And so I don't know if it's necessarily the cozy vibe, but I did put it on my short list here, my long list, I guess, as kind of something to consider.
Okay. No, Celeste actually would have been a great choice. That's very much a game that if I wanted to appeal to the masses, I think I'd put on there. But I know a game also that you played quite a bit of.
What was that? Oh, Celeste? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I never went back when they put out that Chapter 9 update, a whole new like world's worth of levels. I never went back and did that. I need to do that. Okay. So that is our cozy game draft. Where do you want to go next?
I would like to talk about, so within our lists, I'm going to bounce around a little bit here on my little notes that I had dropped to you, but I kind of want to talk about our lists and what that might mean for us. So, for instance, we talked a lot about Mario last week.
Yeah.
And we had to decide if Mario was 2D or 3D.
Yeah.
And, well, you know what I mean. If
what we prefer.
Yeah.
Yeah. If one had to go away, what would we want to be to remain?
Now, when it comes to, let's say, cozy games.
Sure.
Do you think cozy games are more often, or would you go with handheld or would you go with console for cozy? I want you to choose what you think is superior when it comes to cozy games.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is a great comparison when we talk about any sort of genre or vibe of game, right? So when we're talking cozy, especially the ones I put here on my list, I think it's got to be handheld. I think the idea of, you snuggle up on the couch, you put a blanket over yourself, get some hot cider with your Switch or handheld of choice. I think it makes sense. Earlier when I was talking about the big blockbuster games of the fall, that's very much a console thing. But yeah, if I want kind of that cozy indoor vibe, it's handheld. That definitely brings it home. What about you?
I have to go the same way. I have to go handheld. Okay. And I mean, I know even the games that I'd put in my draft, predominant amount of them you cannot play handheld. Some of them you can play handheld nowadays with some technology, which, to be honest with you, is a way that I really enjoy playing some of those games. But
I think almost all of these. We're just waiting on the big one, on Twilight Princess.
That's true. Actually, yeah, you're right. Yep. But I would say, oh God, please talk about this. But I'd have to go handheld because, I feel like I'm still very mobile in the fall. I like to be places.
Sure.
And I, being in a hammock, playing on my Game Boy or my Switch, like that just, in the fall is just the best to me. I love it.
Yeah. No, I think that just makes sense to me if you want kind of that cozy vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So I dropped a link for you here, which I just discovered this today that Nintendo on their web eShop, they have a cozy section. And I think a lot of it lines up with what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And some of it, I don't. And I'm curious looking through it. If anything kind of stands out as either a great pick that we didn't talk about or as a weird pick.
Untitled Goose Game, perfect. I cannot believe I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
That's a perfect one for me, honestly.
Yeah.
But the very much, I mean, you can tell that the art style thing we've been talking about, and of course the music, because I know I've played a couple of these, so the music really does line up here. I can see that a vast majority share that same that same idea. So I guess Nintendo gets it.
They do. I mean, you see lots of things here. The things you hear about Little Kitty, Big City, Cozy Grove, stuff we talked about like Unpacking, and you just mentioned Goose Game. And then I see stuff like Princess Peach Showtime.
Yeah,
I'm like, what are you doing here? Is that a fall game?
No.
Even Breath of the Wild, I kind of go, I don't know, Nintendo, what are we doing here?
Well, I mean, with some of these games, though, like, you know, I'd put this down as something to talk about, but Breath of the Wild is a good example of something where it's a game that maybe you won't consider cozy, but might have some cozy mechanics to it. And that's kind of like, that's something I wanted to ask you about, because, you know, when I was thinking about this, you know, games that are cozy, or games that may not be cozy but have cozy mechanics, Breath of the Wild came to mind because there's something about, like, I mean, that Minecraft feel, like you need a lot of something, so you almost go mining for it. Like, if I need a lot of wood, I'm going to go chop down some trees. Like, I'm very much going to go to work in that way. And then there's the whole cooking element to it. And I mean,
that's what I think that is very discovering what the different combinations do is very much a like cozy game tenet.
Yeah, and I mean that first feeling of exploration too. Like there's even parts that almost make more like because when you look at the game and you look at what you need to do in the game, I wouldn't classify it as a cozy game, but there are definitely like big cozy moments. You know, like I might find myself in a cozy situation. You know, watch out! You find yourself in a cozy situation, man. But I found that would happen to me in that game sometimes. So I mean, I think that's out there as a scenario too.
It's a game that you can play like Minecraft. You can play for hours and hours and not really progress, but still enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
it's exactly what you're saying. Just finding stuff, finding a new vista to look at, and seeing if you can get to that point. Like there, you can make your own game.
I love in that game. Sometimes when you're just kind of like maybe you're focused on something and you're running around. Like I know for me when that DLC came out where you could find like Majora's Mask and some of the other things in there, like let's say you're focused in on one of those and you're just kind of looking for an area, but like you'd actually get caught off guard for a moment and you're like looking around and it's like not a realistic looking game, but you catch yourself looking at the view and you're like, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like it's wild that could happen to you. I don't know. I love it. Go ahead.
So I have a couple other examples, most of which are on Switch, and if they're not, they will be or they should be. Both Red Dead Redemption games. The first one, of course, is on Switch. Has poker, has Five Finger Fillet. It's got the different mini games to it that I think Rockstar in general is really good at. I brought up GTA 5 earlier, right? That you can just play tennis in that game, right? Like if you want to, you can there's all sorts of stuff to do. And I think those games do a very good job of just giving you mini games you can get lost in like that. I included Star Wars Outlaws here. You can play Sabacc, the card game from that Lando and Han are, big fans of in the Star Wars universe. I had a lot of fun doing that. In the same Star Wars vein, I mentioned Jedi Survivor, which is not on Switch yet, but I guarantee that and Fallen Order will be at some point. That has an interesting game called Holo Tactics where, like, as you're going, you're collecting these different units, and then you will meet people you'll compete with, and you have to, like, line up your units, and there'll be ATSTs and different kinds of stormtroopers and things that have different attributes. And then you, like, hit go, and your guys go up against their guys, and there's, like, 10 slots for you to fill. And it's just fun to, like, kind of figure out the placement and how the different units work. And then I cannot wait. We're going to get Final Fantasy VII Remake, but when Rebirth hits the Switch, being able to play Queen's Blood on Switch is going to be great. So that is an in-game card game where you're just traveling around and you know, gathering new cards to put in your deck, face opponents. You know, it's one of those. So yeah, I love that kind of stuff.
I do too. I mean, I can remember early on running into things like that. Ocarina of Time fishing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When I played earlier this year, I spent a lot of time fishing.
Dude, way too much time. Like way more time than I ever would have thought, honestly. Like how did we find out? Because I know I didn't find this out from reading anything, but like I fished the dude's hat off. Like how did I figure out you could do that? From just being in there casting my line like wildly. And like
right, must be.
Yeah. At one point I was probably like, I'm casting at this guy. And then I took his hat and was like, no way. like it's so funny to find things. At that age, I wasn't thinking like they added that in here. I was just like, whoa, I took his hat. But like now I'm just thinking like,
that's such a fun detail.
Yeah, like I think honestly I was probably like, I wonder if I can catch the fish in the little tank up by his desk. I wonder if that's what I was thinking. But but even still, like it's just hilarious. But it's those types of small additions to games that I think that really stuck out to me the most. And I mean, that one probably is one of my most noteworthy. But also just getting like completely sidetracked in other games, running around and caring about things that you're not really supposed to care about. I feel like in Majora's Mask I did that quite a bit too. Just kind of putzing around, observing people on their like schedules every day. Like I remember that being a huge thing when that game came out. I remember like following them around, you know, like
well, I mean, games just weren't doing that. Like that's such a games still aren't doing that, you know.
And so like I remember following around that Goron mailman for like way too long, you know, like just kind of seeing what he's up to and like following him around on his schedule. And it's like I think that that was one of the things on my list for one of my cozy games, because it was so interesting to me to just kind of like, I felt like I was in a world where a lot of people were just going about their lives, and it was cozy to me, you know, on like the second day in Clocktown when it's raining and I'm in the Stockpot Inn and I'm trying to figure out like, you know what I mean? Like it's just those small details in those games made it cozy to me. Those small moments in those games made it cozy to me.
I remember getting lost in that one as a kid, like not progressing the story, just same thing, like just seeing what everybody's doing, how what I'm doing affects them. Like you take that Goron's room and then he has to sleep outside in the rain, right? Like it's stuff like that that just kind of makes that game magical.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, it's fun when you run into those kind of elements. The example that I put in here, the Chow Garden for Sonic Adventure 2, did you ever get involved in that?
Oh yeah. So I love Sonic Adventure 2.
Okay.
First off. But yeah, the Chow Garden was an incredible addition. And I had Sonic Advance, which could connect with that game using the little cable thing. And you could move Chow and eggs back and forth and do all that stuff. And so I played a lot with that.
Okay. I mean, I never did. Like I never got into it. But I remember my friend's sister did. So like I would sit there and watch her play. And I was like, we were just like, what is this? Like, what exactly is going on right now? And I'm like, isn't this Sonic?
Yeah.
It's like, it's just funny to me that like, I didn't know I was witnessing what so many people would later talk about being so obsessed with. Like, it's so funny.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, at an older age, when we see this stuff, it's like, we may not even understand how popular that small thing is.
Yeah, I believe there is some indie coming out that is basically the Chow Garden game, right? Like, oh man, Poglings, and it does. I can see the resemblance here just looking at these screenshots. Yeah. But yeah, I mean that's kind of why we're in a cool place with indie games, that people that grew up with that mode can go out and make that a whole experience. And I had no frame of reference back then to know that like other people were enjoying this thing too. I thought it was just a weird thing that I stumbled upon.
Yeah, but I mean that's why we're in it. Like that's why we love it. That's the fun. That's the fun right there. I love that so much. Something else I wanted to talk a little bit about that I really do enjoy, but I haven't seen a ton. I don't see a ton of this, but it's worth mentioning because I feel like sometimes there are games, like you actually mentioned one of these games, but around the time that it launches, there will be a lot of hype around it. And I love hype. So like if something has a lot of hype to it and other people are excited about it, even if I decide it's not for me, like I have a lot of fun enjoying other people being really excited. But I'll sometimes be like, that sounds cool. And I'll jump on that hype wagon and kind of see what's going on. Animal Crossing. I had a lot of experience growing up with people that played that game, but that's one of these things that I jumped on. I was like, you know what? I'm excited about this. I like this. People are very excited. It looks really cool. I love the Switch. I'm going to give this a shot. And I did.
Yeah.
But something Animal Crossing does that I love, and this isn't necessarily a seasonal type thing, but I love that it follows you in time. So, if we're experiencing fall and you have it set to your time zone, you're experiencing fall in the game. And it adds a whole, it adds just this element to it. You're more immersed in it because it's giving you the feelings that you might feel outside. Like you come home, it's autumn, it's beautiful. You go play your game, it's autumn and it's beautiful. And there's something about that I love. But to be more specific, like, do you have any games that stick out to you that do that kind of like seasonal event or anything like that?
So to be honest, I don't have a ton for this particular question. Animal Crossing being the biggest one that I remember playing. Probably on the DS. That was when I was probably the most into Animal Crossing was Wild World. But as far as like current day stuff, Fortnite is probably that game, right? They obviously do a lot of different events, but one of the mainstays is Fortnitemares every time around Halloween, where they add, candy that does different things on the map and broomsticks that'll throw you up in the air and you can float around and they put a bunch of different skins, whether they're movie monsters or something original, and so that's always fun to kind of see what they do with that. But yeah, that's probably the extent of
I just like
events.
I think of things like Splatoon. When that hype was really big, that's kind of that's another hype wagon I definitely got into.
Sure.
I'd say mostly around the first and the third one, I think was the biggest hype. But anyway, just like, they do that like weekly thing. There's like the this or that team and you jump on and and that's super fun. But also like during the fall, like having the different options for clothes, like that's super cool. I love to see that. I honestly I wish we saw this in more games these days. And it's like, I'm not saying we need apparel. I'm not trying to customize what t-shirt Mario is wearing, but like,
sure,
if you could see more things like Animal Crossing almost where different from Animal Crossing in a way where the weather doesn't come with, or not the weather, but the season doesn't travel with you, but like, like GTA or something, you'll get on and like they're like, it's gonna snow because it's Christmas. Like, like I love that stuff, man.
It would be cool if like Mario Kart World just suddenly had, hay bales around and jack-o'-lanterns, and, for a little bit. Like that would be cool.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Like I want to see more stuff like that. And I feel like we have, if you play online, we have the capability to do that. I think Switch 2, a lot of folks are online. I know that having a Nintendo online subscription would probably be required on a lot of these things, but what a cool thing to do for the people who have that,
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Oh man, a lot of fall stuff, dude.
A lot of fall stuff. Do you have? I know there was one more fall thing I believe you wanted to.
There is, and
discuss. Okay.
I think this is a good place to end. A good place to wrap up with this topic. Okay. It's a big one. I feel like, and you kind of alluded to this a little bit earlier in the show. I want to talk a little bit about notable fall releases we've seen in Nintendo's history. And the piece that you kind of alluded to earlier is, we've seen a lot of big titles in the fall. That's usually, that's Pokemon season. Like you said, Call of Duty usually. I know we're talking Nintendo, but we see a lot of those big drops happen in the fall. So I wanted to to hear if you had any notable moments or notable fall releases that meant something to you and kind of what that was.
Absolutely. I think, you know, it used to always be you want your game to come out before Black Friday, before the holidays, so people could buy it, right?
Yeah.
And I think we've kind of gotten away with that, like from that rather, like big games come out kind of all year round now. That wasn't always the case. But I feel like, especially the years we were growing up, like I have so many of those memories of like, this thing is coming out. Like you mentioned Pokemon, like a lot of those have come out in the fall. Fewer of them than I thought when I was looking through the list. But the one that sticks out to me, I remember going to pick up Gold and Silver.
Oh,
that, you know, that fall 2000, I think. And like, and then, you know, that was a perfect game to play on the Game Boy and bring to school and do all that stuff. And so that was a big one for me. You know, obviously some console launches. I mentioned the Wii when we were talking about Twilight Princess. But the DS was another one that came out a little. So my birthday is at the end of November, and I got that for that birthday in 2004. And so like that one is one that's gonna, you know, stick with me. Same thing. But yeah, a lot of the, let's see, if I have to go like one game that we haven't talked about that was a big fall release for me, it was probably Mario Galaxy, which I guess is kind of topical since it's about to come out again. But I remember walking to GameStop. I did not have a driver's license, so I walked over there after school, picked it up, brought it home, and played it. It was like, that was like Thanksgiving weekend, I think. So like I just played it that whole weekend. God. It was awesome.
Dude, what, man, setting the tone for a major fall cozy game weekend or just fall game weekend. Long holiday weekend, man. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hole in one. Oh my God. The best, dude. Man. Okay. That's tough. That's a good one. Especially remembering the weekend.
Right.
You know, yeah. I have one very notable. I have two. One of the games I mentioned earlier in my list, but I'm going to go Pokemon Red.
Okay.
For the Game Boy Color.
Sure.
So this one, I have it listed. So this one released in North America September 28th, 1998. I was probably 6 or 7, but I remember very well getting it. I remember my grandmother got it for us. And I remember just playing the crap out of that game through the holidays, dude. Like, if I can remember correctly, I feel like it wasn't even on my own Game Boy. I felt like that came later when she got it for me for Christmas. Yeah. At least if I remember right. But I remember playing it at her house just nonstop after getting it, and that was a big one for me. I know we've talked about that a little bit, but one of my first games that was only mine. But the other one that I remember extremely clear is Luigi's Mansion for GameCube. That's the one I brought up earlier.
Sure.
I just remember, like I said, something totally different, a totally different experience with a Mario game that I've never had. You know, brand new place. Maybe that's the first time that King Boo was more than just a character.
Yeah, they made him a real
real character. He was a real guy at that point, and that was really fun for me. So, and I took a long time, man. Like that's one of those games where I just played the shit out of it, and then eventually I put it down, and I remember it was when you go upstairs, the lightning strikes and the power goes out, and then you have to go back down to the basement to the breaker.
Yeah. I
stopped playing there. Like like the power went out, and I was like, all right. But like I don't know what happened, but I put it away, and then when I finally picked it back up, I realized how close I was to just being done with the game, and I was like, God, man, it was just wild. But no, Luigi's Mansion, I remember just really loving that game when that came out, and that was right around that Thanksgiving time too.
Yeah. I do really hope they put that on Switch Online.
Oh, come on, yeah.
Within the next month, right? Like I haven't played that first one in a very long time.
Yeah.
I didn't play the 3DS remake or anything like that. So I wouldn't mind that.
No. And I mean, that's one of those ones where it's like, I don't care about a remake for this. Just put it on GameCube, let me play it. That's all I want, you know?
Yeah. And I could play right now. It's sitting right there.
I know. I have it too.
Pop it in there, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think we talked about the big series. You know, we've had a couple Smash Bros. We've had some different Mario games. Obviously, some Zeldas. I have a story that involves you that I thought I would share here. So this is 2013. I wish I knew what day it was. It was the day that the Xbox One, the night previous to the Xbox coming out. And obviously, you know, there's the big line at our local GameStop, and, you know, people are waiting, and, you know, we walk in because we're there for Link Between Worlds on the 3DS. And we're just kind of hanging out, right? Because we assume, you know, it comes out at midnight, right? And so eventually the guy's like, okay, like, can I see your receipts? And we're like, oh, we're not buying Xbox. He's like, what are you talking about? What are you doing here? And we're like, we're here for Zelda. And he's like, what the fuck? And he just like gave us the games. He's like, get out of here. And like, so we had it like a little early, you know? And I remember, and then we went to the diner to Ram's Hole and played it for a bit.
Oh man,
that was a good one.
What a wonderful memory, though.
I don't like that game, but I do enjoy the memory of picking it up. Like, I'd be like, get out of here.
Dude, I'm so glad that you reminded me about that. That was hilarious.
Just like a line of people looking at us like, what do you mean you're not getting an Xbox?
Like, we're here for Zelda, dude. What the fuck, man? Yeah. Oh god, I love it. Oh jeez.
Yeah, I miss the midnight release of these things. You know, we obviously did it for the Switch too.
Yeah.
I know some GameStops are doing it for Pokemon Za.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I want to get it digitally, but like, there is part of me that's like, oh, that'd be cool to like go do that. But I probably won't.
I probably will. I'm totally not working the next day, so I think I'm gonna be. Sure. I think I plan to stream. Honestly, I think I literally want to pick it up and then stream like as I play through the game for the very first time. I think that's what I want to do. Okay. So if you want to go to the midnight release, let's go.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. But yeah, I just there is something, because of the nature of how when we were growing up getting into this hobby, that is when all the big stuff came out. There is something special about fall and gaming. So I like that you brought this topic up today.
Cool. Heck yeah, man. I loved it. Yeah.
Let us know in the comments, wherever you are, what your favorite fall games are. What kind of games you play in the fall. We would love to know. You can follow us at Pod with Power on all the platforms. You can listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your podcasts. Watch us on YouTube and Spotify. I'm Zachary Davis. That's Jordan Carlson. See you later.
Bye.